Hello developers, today we're going to be doing a beginning C# project. The idea here with this project is for getting started, as if you've never done a full C# project, and we're going to do this in the context of a Blazor server app, just so we have something to run with. I know that we could also use just a code window, but since the current projects I'm working on are in Blazor, I like to show things in that context because it shows something that you can actually use right away in a web application. All right, and so we're going to focus on data here because getting data into a database and back out again is one of the fundamental requirements for any application. For example, if you're logging in, well, you're logging in, you're checking a database, you're checking your password, so on and so forth. So getting data in and out is fundamental, and with today's frameworks and libraries, it's pretty easy compared to what we used to have to go through back in the days of data sets and going through row sets, and all that kind of stuff is nicely history, and so we've moved on. So let's get started here. What we're going to do is create a brand new Blazor server project. All right, so we're going to go over here to new project. We're going to select Blazor server. I'm using, need to move my window out of the way to bottom left. All right, now I can say next. And now let's move that guy back, bottom right. All right, and we're just going to put it here in a folder called test. And we'll give it a new, let's call this Blazor app. All right, and we're going to go in there, select that folder, and we're just going to accept the defaults here. Oh, and again, I got to move that guy out of the way. How about over there? Here we go. All right, next. And .NET 6, we'll move that up. .NET 7, authentication type. Now, I'm going to select individual accounts because when I do that, it's going to add some libraries in there for accessing a database. And we just want to make sure we can actually access that database, just to make sure we've got everything installed that we need, like SQL Server Management Studio. All right, and so we say create. And it spins this up for us. And lo and behold, we have Blazor App 1, and we can now run this right out of the box. And Visual Studio is spinning that up. It's building away. Close out of that message. And shortly, we will see our app. It's still building our first time here. And come on, you can do this. It's coming around. And there it is. All right, so we have hello world, we have counter, and we have fetch data. All right, so that proves that we've got this up and running. Now, because we selected individual accounts, we have this register and log in. So I'm going to click the register button, and we're going to watch it and say, oh, create a new account. And we're going to say greg@gmail.com. And we're going to say password. Now, I haven't created an account, right? So we're expecting this to error out, but you'll see what happens here. So we clicked register. It says, oh, okay, so it wants us to increase our password complexity. All right. There you go. There you go. And no, it still doesn't like that. All right, so, oh, yeah, it did go. Actually, it was just thinking about it. Now, we're expecting this message, right? So you want to see this message. A database operation failed while processing the request. Well, of course, because there is no such database, right? We as you can see, we haven't created any database, but we have this button right here that says Apply Migrations, right? And we're going to click that button, and it's going to do its thing, and then it says, oh, try refreshing the page. So let's try refreshing the page. Continue, and it says register confirmation. All right, so there's a lot that just happened here, and I'm going to just click here to confirm your account, right? And thank you for confirming your email, right? And then, so that has proved that we have hooked up to our database. Now, we're going to bail out of here, and we're going to go look and see what just happened. So over here in our app settings, you can see that a database was basically created for us. So, and that's our string at ASP.NET Blazor, app1, with this GUID, trusted connection. So it's just a pretty basic connection, and it's connecting here to our local DB. So let's now connect to that local database and just have a look at our database. All right, I'm closing out of this because that's a different database. I just want to open it up fresh here. Now, if you don't have this local database, MS SQL Local DB installed, right, you will not be able to get this far. But I do, and as you can see, we have a number of different databases. These are all test databases of mine. And let's go look at our connection string back over here in our Blazor app 1. So we're looking for one that starts with 5F17. So we go back over here. Oh, and there it is right there. So Entity Framework created this database for us. And really all it's got in it are the ASP.NET user tables. And we won't take a deep dive in there right now, but as you can see, there are different tables in here that's just used to store. And as we can see, there's one in here, username, Greg, normalized. So it does a hash of our password. It doesn't store it directly. A hash is like, it's an algorithm. They take the password, they apply a hash to it, and comes up with that. So it's much safer to store a hash than the actual password. All right, so what have we done so far? Well, we've created our project, and then our project created this database for us, right? So that's the first step that I want you to do, is run through what I've just done and see if you can get that far, so you can actually come down and see that user that you created. And if you've got that far, great. I'm going to do lesson number 2 here, which will actually then go into how to use this database that was created to add our own table and hook up an entity to it. All right, so that's all for now. We'll talk to you later.